Browns did make a move. Really wasn't a surprise. We've heard about it for weeks. Browns traded Za'Darius Smith to the Lions. Smith and a 2026 7th-round pick to Detroit for a 2025 5th-round pick and a 2026 6th-round pick. We had heard it would have been a 4th. I like the 4th better. The other thing, the Browns released defensive tackle Quentin Jefferson, one of their big D-tackle free agent signings. He had been inactive the previous 4 games. So the Browns trade Smith, release Jefferson. Let's welcome in Spencer German, 92.3 The Fan, as well as Cleveland Browns on SI. So just Smith traded unless somebody got something in under the deadline that we'll hear about in the next 20 minutes or a half hour. But it's looking like it's Smith and they released Jefferson. I get it.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of talk, obviously, about the trade deadline, what the Browns are going to do, how active they would be. The fans, different sects of fans had their theories on, maybe they'll trade Myles Garrett and strip this thing down to the studs and just like get a bunch of picks. I tried to warn people though, like, Dave, I just don't think this isn't baseball, right? Where you can trade a bunch of guys, you got a farm system kind of waiting in the wings, and you can call guys up to sort of fill those spots. It like the NFL doesn't usually work that way, and the one wild card was that the deadline got pushed back a week, which was something that the Browns actually did champion back in at the combine and in the owners meetings and things, was trying to get it. They actually wanted it 2 weeks later. So you wondered if that would maybe make things a little more active. I think we got a decent amount of trades, but yeah, there wasn't anything. I never expected them to just like fire sale trade everybody. I thought maybe Greg Newsome could be somebody they try to move. It sounded like there were some talks about him, but nothing ever came to fruition. I know David Njoku's name got brought up a couple times in some reports, most notably from Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk. But I think like his contract makes it harder to move him, and plus he's a fan favorite here. And I think right now the Browns need as much goodwill as possible because we know that the relationship between the fans and the team right now is a little touch and go, just given how the Deshaun Watson experiment has played out. But yeah, the Za'Darius Smith thing had been kind of coming for a couple weeks. I think it's fine. Like you, I thought they'd maybe get a 4th-round pick. But clearly, I do think like the fact that they had these conversations, the fact that they did at least make that move, sort of signals that that Chargers game on Sunday was kind of the last nail in the coffin for understanding where they're at. And I think they've sort of pivoted to we're going to try to stay competitive this year, but understanding that they got to start thinking about 2025.
Yeah, the other thing I think, if you make a bunch of the trades with Newsome and those guys, you're in for it's a rebuild, and I think they're thinking more along the lines of a pivot. They clearly have to do something with the offense. The offense has been a disaster.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a disaster. But you don't want to get rid of defensive players that can still play.